Guy, you may start.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody, depending on where you are. I am Guy Fradin, the Secretary General of the Association. I'm very happy to talk to you from France, and I would like to make a warm welcome to all our members who have managed to join us here for the Online General Assembly. I hope that you are all safe and coping as the world starts to manage from this terrible pandemic. While the situation varies significantly in different parts of the world, the silver lining of COVID-19 is that we have discovered new and more efficient ways of keeping in touch, such as online meeting like this. Apparently, we have 76 or maybe more, 76 members registered to attend this meeting. And as we are in international association, we would like to get an idea of which regions you are joining us from. So please select your region from this poll we are about to launch on your screens. While people are answering to this poll, I would like to explain the purpose of this General Assembly. First, to update you on our recent and upcoming activities and our financial status. Second, to offer you the chance to meet some of the senior board and executive office members who keep your association running. And where possible, to offer you the chance to interact and ask questions. With that in mind, I would like to quickly introduce the panel that will be presenting to you today. They are Gabriel Eckstein, our president, Callum Clench, our executive director, Renee Martinagle, who is treasurer, Tom Su, chair of the IWRA membership committee, and Ignacio de Regibus, our deputy executive director. I would also like to quickly hand over to Ignacio de Regibus, who will now provide some brief instructions to the audience on how to use Zoom. Please, Ignacio.
Thank you, Guy, and welcome all. So I would like to inform all participants joining us today to please put your questions into the Q&A section. You can access this section by clicking on the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Once questions are answered either by the speaker or in writing, they will be displayed for everyone. If we don't have time to answer all the questions we receive over the next 60 minutes, we will provide written responses on our website following this General Assembly. Moreover, please keep an eye to the chat box for any links that are mentioned by the presenters. All slides will also be made available following this General Assembly, along with a recording of this event. Finally, and as you can see, there will be some interactive polls launched. So once you have answered this poll, you can close the box and the results will be displayed for everyone. Thank you, Guy, and back to you.
Thank you, Ignacio. I hope everybody has understood. I would like now to introduce Professor Gabriel Eckstein, the current president of IWRA, who will begin this General Assembly. He is professor of law at Texas A&M University and director of the Law School's program in Natural Resources Systems. From 2010 to 2015, he served as treasurer of IWRA. And from 2017, he chairs in 2017, he chaired the 16th World Water Congress International Scientific Committee. And now for 2.5 years, he is our president. Gabriel, up to you.
Thank you so much, Guy. And thank all of you, all the IWRA members who are here at the General Assembly. As we approach the end of the current IWRA Executive Board mandate, this is our opportunity to reflect on what your association has been doing over the past 3 years, and to let you know how you might get involved in the various activities, the programs and projects between now and the end of the year, but also looking forward to the next Executive Board mandate from 2022 to 2024. Before continuing on that track, I must commend and thank a number of groups and individuals who have been instrumental in making IWRA the successful association it is today. First of all, I want to thank the current executive board. Over the past 3 years, we've all done, placed a lot of hard work, working on different tasks and committees, and I will explain some of these activities to you in just a minute. Second, I want to thank the IWRA membership for your contributions to the association. You have submitted papers to our flagship journal, Water International. You've submitted abstracts for our conferences. You've spoken at the conferences. You've spoken on our different webinars. You've supported the masterclass series. You've served on leadership positions, whether on the executive board or task forces and in other capacities. And you've really made the association what it is today. Under the membership structure that we launched at the start of the year, we now have more than 1,900 members who come from over 130 countries from all over the globe. We also count 13 institutions and corporations as partner organizations in our membership. And as Guy Fradin said earlier, we have about, I think, 40 participants who are active, 70 who have registered for this General Assembly. And you will see from the poll we took that they represent all parts of the world, coming from all continents. It's a pleasure to have everybody participate here today. Now, thank you also goes to all those members who have been actively involved in various leadership positions and projects at IWRA. We have 6 task forces that are actively working on projects, on webinars, collaborations with other groups, and so much more. We also have an extensive editorial team and editorial board for our various publications, our flagship publication, Water International, as well as our policy briefs and other written publications and so on. I want to thank all of the chairs and the members of these task forces and the editorial teams on our publications for all of their hard work and successes, and for elevating the association's reputation, and for so visibly as a professional international association. In addition, I want to recognize our geographic chapters. We have them in China, in Japan, Oceania, and India. And I want to commend the chapter chairs and their members who have all been very active this year. And for the coming year, we are really excited to have a Latin America and Caribbean chapter join us, as well as a Mongolia chapters. And both of these groups are being set up right now. And not the least, I want to thank the executive office team, which has grown in the past number of years and has greatly increased the work product and output of the association. It continues to do a stellar job managing the association's affairs on a daily basis. And we really, really owe a deep debt of gratitude for all of their hard work and dedication to this association. Over the mandate of the current executive board, which began in January of 2019, we have accomplished so much. We have a robust growth in membership and increased country representation. We have further solidified the association's financial stability through successful Congress arrangements with host countries, as well as funded projects. We've expanded our publications, added new task forces, created new opportunities that are specifically designed for early career professionals, and we've developed new events and programs. In fact, you can find a description of the many activities we undertook in 2019 and 2020, as well as in earlier years, in our annual reports, which are published on the IWRA website. And Ignacio is putting the link in the chat. You can get to see those activity reports. But I have to say, there's so much more that's to come. And I'm going to highlight some of those that will be featured in the upcoming 2021 annual report. First, maybe foremost, is our Congress, our World Water Congress, the 17th edition, which is scheduled to take place in Daegu, South Korea, will take place from Monday, November 29 to Friday, December 3rd. The theme is Foundations for Global Water Security and Resilience, Knowledge, Technology, and Policy. It is generously supported by the Ministry of Environment and hosted by K-Water, the Daegu Metropolitan City, and the KWRA, Korean Water Resources Association. And I want to thank the very hard work of the ISC chair, Gary Jones, and for all the members of the ISC for all their effort and time that they put into organizing this very special event. So we hope you sign up on the website for the latest updates on this Congress. And now we are currently working to finalize the location and dates for the 18th World Water Congress. And you can expect a more formal announcement, hopefully by the end of this year, to alert you about the 18th Congress. But I'm very pleased to say, very excited to say that the 18th World Water Congress will take place in 2023 in Beijing, in China. So please mark your calendars and look forward for more information about the 18th Congress in 2023. And further, I have to say, we are already exploring venues and dates for the 19th World Water Congress, possibly in 2025, as well as for smaller regional conferences that will take place throughout the world. In addition, we have developed a new online conference format to supplement the activities of the congresses and activities that we do here at IWRA. These online conferences are aimed at facilitating participation from researchers in various parts of the world, especially where travel to a World Water Congress is more difficult or just not practical. While not able to duplicate all of the obvious benefits of attending a face-to-face event, these free conferences, and I really have to thank our key partners, such as UNESCO, IHP, and the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. These free conferences are an amazing way to share knowledge and expertise to a much, much broader audience. And so far, we've held 2 of these online conferences, one each in 2020 and 2021. And we're now planning for our next event, next online conference, which we hope will take place in 2022. We will certainly communicate more information on this in the coming months. Now, 2021 has been an important year for IWRA for so many reasons, but not least because it was or continues to be our 50th anniversary. This has been a great opportunity to look back over our first half century, assess where we are now, and also plan about where we would like to head in the next 50 years. Activities to celebrate this landmark year have included webinars and high-level panels, interviews with longtime members, a special issue of Water International, a new 50th anniversary award that will be given out at the 17th World Water Congress in Daegu, South Korea, and other planned activities that will take place at the Congress event. As we continue to look to the future, we must be guided by the ideals that the founders of this association held so dearly. We are an association of professionals who use our knowledge and experiences in the water sector to make a positive difference for people and communities worldwide. But just as we had to adapt to the pandemic, we also must adapt to the new realities of the water sector and the evolving needs of water professionals just like you. With this in mind, last year, the executive board conducted a series of exercises and meetings during which the board updated the association's vision and mission statement and developed goals and strategies for the short term, the medium term, and the long term. We reviewed this strategy document earlier this year, and an annex was created to assess progress towards that, against that original strategy, and you can access those documents on our websites. The outcome of that exercise firmly places you, our membership, our members, at the center of everything that we do. We are committed to ensure that all of our various activities and work products incorporate our members to the greatest extent possible, and to facilitate and inspire dialogue, knowledge sharing, and importantly, science-based solutions for the sustainable management of water resources for all. With this mission, we seek to operate at the interface between science and policy, and we continue to aspire to be the leading global association of water professionals, focusing on addressing local to global water-related challenges and improving water outcomes for all. One of the results of the strategy review workshop held by our executive board earlier this year was to develop a survey of our membership to hear in more detail from you about how satisfied you are with our current activities and to identify what additional activities and benefits you would like to see as part of your membership. Now, following this General Assembly, we will send all participants by email a short preliminary survey to provide us with your initial feedback. And once we collect and analyze this information, we will send out in the next couple of months a more detailed survey to the entire membership and partners to learn from the international water community. So please stay tuned for more on this. Now, before I conclude, I want to also remind all of our members that this is a very important year for the association because the IWRA board elections are coming up very soon. The electronic ballot box will be open for the whole month of October. You can find information about all of the candidates on our website. This is your chance to have a say on who will govern your association for the next 3 years from 2022 to 2024. Under the new membership structure, all silver and gold members have the right to vote. And if you are a bronze member, I strongly encourage you to upgrade your membership to silver or gold, which will give you the chance to vote in these upcoming elections, as well as to get access to Water International and other benefits that are accorded to members at that membership level. As the saying goes, water is life, but for many of you, life is water. You've devoted so much of your careers and energies to water and to people and communities who depend on that life-giving substance. And this association is here for you. It will continue to support you in your careers and will continue to provide you with that special circle of friends and colleagues who share a common bond around water. Thank you for your continued support of IWRA and for your kind attention. And I think we have time now if there's any questions from the membership. If there are, please put those in the Q&A. And we'd be happy to try to respond to your questions.
Ruth, are there any questions for Gabriel? It doesn't sound like it, Gabriel. Shall we move on?
No, sure. So, yeah, so let's move on now. I would like to introduce our Executive Director, Callum Clench, who has been managing the Executive Office since the start of 2016. Callum, you have the floor.
Thanks, Gabriel. And I just wanted to thank, in fact, all the board members you see here today, Guy, Renee, and Tom as well, just for their generous time that they give to the association. I also like to just thank some of we have a really amazing team here at the Executive Office who often sit quietly in the background. You see Ruth and Ignacio with us here today, but we have others who are sort of based in many different locations, and they're very, very busy people at the moment as we get close to our Congress. So I just want to give a shout out to them. What I'd like to do here today is just update you on some of the activities that have taken place since our previous General Assembly. Some of them are ongoing, so I won't go into lots of detail, but of course, if you have any questions, let us know and we'll try to answer them here or indeed through follow-up emails. We have a couple of ongoing projects. The first one is, it's a 3-year Smart Water Cities project that we're doing in collaboration with K-Water and the Asia Water Council. This year, we're looking at identifying solutions. So part of that's looking at case studies around smart water solutions for cities. Next year, we're going to focus more on measuring impact. So how do you know whether the effectiveness of those various solutions and how smart water is integrated into cities? And then in the final year, we'll be looking at certification. So how do you certify a city as being a smart water city? So it's a very interesting project that a number of our members are actually involved with through the Smart Water Task Force. We also have another project that we're doing with UNESCO IWSSM. So that's the International Center for Water Security and Sustainable Management. And this is a case study, an annual case study project looking at water security. We have just released the groundwater case study report from 2020. It's been published on UNESCO's website, so we're very excited to announce that. We're also working on this year a report on water security and cities, so integrated urban water management. And very shortly, we'll be sending out a call for case studies for next year's report, which we think we'll be focusing on managing water resources under global changes. So keep an eye out for that call. We would really welcome your case studies. In addition to these projects, another thing that we do in the Executive Office is represent our association and our members with partner organizations around the world. So For example, we're board members for the World Water Council, as well as for the Asia Water Council. We're also on the Human Right to Water Association as well. And we also participate in other meetings and committees on an ongoing basis, such as the OECD Water Governance Initiative. We're involved quite deeply in the preparation process for the 9th World Water Forum. And indeed, the Congress in Daegu is one of the milestones to the forum in Senegal, taking place in March next year. We're on the steering committee for CUE Source to Sea, and we're also members of UN Water. So these partnerships are really important because they help to facilitate new opportunities for you, our members, through new projects that appear and through task forces, either by offering you the chance to share your knowledge and expertise or by finding out what's going on in these organizations and contributing in various ways. Another thing, of course, that you're all aware of is our journal, Water International. It's 8 issues a year, about half of which are special issues that are either led by task forces or partner organizations in many cases, not always, but often. We're really pleased to announce that our impact factor has gone up to about 2.7 this year. So it's great news, and it reflects incredibly well on the editor-in-chief and deputy editor-in-chief, James Nickham and Raya Stefan. So thank you to them. We are also are continuing to work on a mentored special issue of Water International. So keep an eye out for that. This is a chance for early career scholars and water professionals to publish with the assistants or co-publish with senior water professionals. So this is a really exciting activity that we hope to also continue in the future. The support for young people that you're seeing with Water International is also mirrored in other things, such as our preparations for the Congress, where we have the World Water Envoys program. There will be 5 people who've been selected from different parts of the world who won a competition that we ran a while ago because of the delays, to come to Daegu to represent their communities and their communities that are suffering from different types of water insecurity. So we're really looking forward to meeting them there and hearing about and working with them on potential solutions for their communities. As you know, we also do webinars and policy briefs. We're averaging about 1 webinar a month, in fact, probably slightly more at the moment. And policy briefs are coming out of special issues of Water International and from task forces, and sometimes directly out of webinars themselves. This year, we also were very excited to finally launch a series of masterclasses. And this series is on water cooperation and diplomacy. And this has been done in collaboration with the University's Partnership for Water Cooperation and Diplomacy, and generously supported and led by Aaron Wolf and Lena Samale. So we're really, the feedback we've had on this has been fantastic. There is another one happening tomorrow afternoon, and the final one will take place next week. They have been recorded, and the recordings are being posted on the website for members to access. And based on this experience, we're absolutely intending to repeat the activity with new masterclasses planned for next year. So keep an eye out for announcements about that. Last but not least, I wanted to talk to you in a little bit more detail about the World Water Congress. So I'm just quickly sharing a slide for that. You can see highlighted in bold red scary letters at the bottom, the 8th of October deadline for registration for people who wish to attend from overseas. So basically, we know that COVID is continuing to cause us problems, but we have been working with our co-hosts to create some solutions for people who wish to attend. People coming to Korea need normally to quarantine, but we can get exemptions because our event is recognized as an educational event in the public interest, and we're supported by the Ministry of Environment. So what this means is a little bit more paperwork, but it means we can also actually come to Korea and finally meet face-to-face, which we're very excited about. You'll see the program is published, the draft program is published online now, and you'll see a lineup of various speakers. So we really do hope that you will strongly consider coming to the Congress in person. just bear in mind this 8th of October deadline. You need to be registered by then, but also your travel and accommodation should be arranged as well, because we need to include that information in the joint application we're sending to the ministry to get the quarantine exemption certificates. There are also, for those people who just cannot travel, and there's a small list of countries that are considered high risk by Korea, for example, including places like South Africa, unfortunately, where we're going to try and offer some hybrid options. These options have been communicated already to the special session coordinators and the speakers for their virtual participation where they can't travel. And these are options just for people not based in Korea. Equally, there will be some communications coming out in the coming weeks for potential audience members as well. Clearly, we can't offer every aspect of the Congress virtually. It's not practical. It's not possible. This is a hybrid event. So hybrid options we're talking about, and there's a certain degree of compromise resulting in that. But if you're not able to come in person, there will be the opportunity to at least follow what's going along and get involved in some way virtually online. So please keep an eye out for information on that in the coming weeks. On a final note about the Congress, I'd also just like to thank the hard work of Gary Jones, the ISC chair, and also the ISC members who have been supporting this project to get it this far. And of course, let's not forget the Ministry of Environment, Daegu Metropolitan City, K-Water, and the Korea Water Resources Association, who are our co-hosts, and the National Organizing Committee. So let's see you all hopefully in Daegu at the end of November, beginning of December this year. Gabriel also mentioned we're finalizing details for, or Beijing has been decided, but we're also the call for the 19th and the 20th Congresses in effect is being finalized now, and we hope to have some good news for you at the beginning of next year about the next hosts after Beijing. And we're also well on our way to negotiating a smaller regional event that will be taking place in one of the inter-Congress years, so next year. And again, information will come out about that shortly, we hope. So that's just a brief snapshot of some of the bigger things that we're doing. We're clearly involved in many other activities as well. And everything we do, we really do try to make sure that it is of some benefit to you, our members, and that's our mission and our vision that we're trying to meet. So I think that's enough for me. Ruth, are there any questions? I've gone through things quite quickly.
Not questions. A member was just mentioning that he would be interested in knowing more about membership, mentoring possibilities, but maybe we can leave this to the last part of our meeting.
Great. Well, perhaps they can get in touch with us directly
exactly.
through the
This is what I
executive office.
suggested. Yeah, great.
Okay, thank you. So without any further delay, I'd like to pass over to Dr. Renee Martinagle, who's the IWRA treasurer, and she's been the treasurer since 2016. She has a background in both law and water and has been a huge help to us here at the executive office. She volunteers a lot of her time, as do all of the board members here. And it's really hard for us to imagine doing half the things we've done without her support. She's also chairing the 50th anniversary task force committee and doing lots of other things, as well as the work she does with the finance committee. She's the president and CEO of A Ripple Effect. She has a PhD in water law, and she's a special counsel at the law firm Eckhart Siemens. So Renee, over to you.
Thank you very much, Cullum, for that kind introduction, and hello to everyone out there. As your treasurer, I'm very pleased to report that IWRA is financially stable, but with the postponement of the 17th World Water Congress, we had to be cautious since, as you will see from the slides, the World Water Congress is our biggest source of revenue, followed by projects and grants, publications, and then membership fees. Revenues for IWRA have increased over the last 3 years, and as a result, our expenses have also gone up as we increase our activities. Our biggest current expenses in descending order are executive office staff, project costs, travel costs in non-COVID times. Congress revenue in 2020 was down due to the postponement, but we have recovered from that this year. Editorial services costs for Water International, marketing and communications, facilities for rent and computers, and finance administration fees. As you will see on the balance sheet, IWRA has a very healthy cash cushion, which is remarkable for a nonprofit, especially during this pandemic era. We owe a huge debt to our staff, especially our Executive Director, Colin Clench, for managing our finances so well. The board and executive office team are constantly looking for new sources of income and are focusing on finding future hosts for the World Water Congress and other events, as these are the most important part of our revenue stream. Any suggestions on possible hosts, collaborative projects, or grants that could be available to IWRA would be warmly welcomed. Please contact the executive director with any ideas you have at office@iwra.org. I don't believe that there are any questions. I don't see them in the question box. So at this time, it's my great pleasure to introduce Tom Sue, who is chair of the membership committee, former executive director of IWRA, and currently head of the International Association of Hydro Environmental Engineering and Research, IAHR. Tom?
Thank you, Renee, and hello, everybody. Hello, all. Thank you for joining our second ever Virtualist General Members Assembly. And wherever you're connecting from, it's great to see you virtually. And I hope that we shall be able to see each other face to face very soon, and perhaps at the World Water Congress in Daegu in Korea in a few months' time. As IWRA celebrates 50 years as a membership-based association, our purpose and our strength continue to be as a platform by the members and for our members. And as chair of the membership committee, it's a pleasure to see our community growing so rapidly under this new membership structure that was introduced at the start of this year. And I'd like to say a specific welcome, very warm welcome, and thank you to all members, old and new, for joining us today at the GMA. Let me start our particular agenda point today by saying that we're going to try to continue to have an interactive approach, even though we're all still sitting behind our computer screens. So to start with, I'd like to ask the Secretariat to share a couple of quick polls. I hope that you can see that. And so I'd like to ask you to raise your kind of virtual hand and let us know what type of IWRA member you are. And this poll would be, I suppose, live for a few moments, and then we'll come to results. I think there's also a second question. And whilst we're waiting for that, let me say that members, both new and veteran, are a very essential part of this IWRA journey under this new membership structure that I'll be giving an update on shortly after we close the poll. Is that the second question? Okay, we'll just wait for a few moments. I can see, so looks like I can actually see the live results coming in, and it looks like there's a fantastic mix. Okay. Are we able to show the results immediately? Callum,
They're being displayed now.
Okay, I'm sorry, I can't quite see the results myself, but I can see the results from the describe yourself, and I can say that it's a fantastic mix, almost an equal mix of all types of professional status. So it's very good to see that we have such a diverse mix. IWRA does position itself as a multidisciplinary organization that reaches and spans across sectors, and it's good to see that this is happening as well at the attendance of this General Members Assembly today. Okay. Thank you for participating in this. So it's given us a bit of an idea of who's joining us today, and gives us great encouragement, I suppose, and input to continually work at our vision of putting members at the heart of everything that we do. So at this point, Ignacio, Callum, can I please ask you to put up the next slide? And please let me know when this is up because I can't see it from my screen. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this slide shows our current membership situation since the introduction of the new membership structure earlier this year. And the new structure focuses on how members interact with IWRA instead of who our members are. So for example, it no longer matters if you're young or if you're retired or from which country you're from. This structure focuses instead on the different levels of engagement represented by 3 different membership categories, so bronze, silver, and gold, and with each level providing a higher levels of engagement. Now, regarding implementation of this new structure, it's now roughly 90% rolled out. And this includes not only updating the membership registration platforms and the databases, but also in the updating of all the bylaws and rules that reflect these changes. I'd like to report back that by early 2022, we plan to roll out the final stages of that implementation, and especially an initiative to grant silver membership to people on lower incomes and who wish to become more engaged. And there are also many other plans to further improve our membership space, the online library and activities such as this. Now, as you can see, our membership caters to both individuals. Can we go back up to the previous slide, Callum? Yeah. As you can see, our membership caters to both individuals and to institutions, and these graphics show that the IWRA membership has now grown to almost 2,000 members. And we've taken on a bit of a sort of a pyramid shape with mainly bronze members at 70%, silver members at about a quarter of our membership, and the most active gold memberships at 5%. We also have a good mix of partner members with roughly 1/3 as gold partners and 2/3 as silver. Now, regarding the transition to the new system, I'll just give a couple of small reminders that in this new system, all student members have now become silver members until the end of their current membership period, and all other members have now become gold members until the end of their current membership period. And when it comes time to renew, at that point, you'll get to choose which level of membership you wish to retain. Okay, now, regarding our transition to a vibrant membership structure, Callum, if you could show the next slide. Whoops. I'd like to highlight just simply that all members, there are many ways to increase the impact of your work, interact with peers and develop your networks via IWRA. This can be done via many types of events, both physical and online, via publications, these new masterclasses and many other different activities. And on a final note, I'd like to let you know that the Secretariat is continually working on interesting ideas for IWRA members, and I'm pleased to highlight a couple of new developments coming our way very soon. One will be a membership survey that will be launched in the coming months to gather feedback from all of our members on your priorities and how you'd like the association to evolve. And then secondly, to launch a sponsored membership program in collaboration with our institutional partners that will grant silver memberships to individuals who might find it difficult to pay the membership fee but wish to be very engaged with IWRA. So I'd like to conclude my presentation today by inviting you to become an active member of IWRA and let us know how we can help. So thank you for your attention. Now, team, I'm not sure if there's time for questions or whether we have any questions.
No, we don't have any.
Okay, so if you have questions in the meantime, please put them in the chat box so we can come back to it at the end. But in the absence of questions right now, I'd like to thank everybody for your attention, and I'd like to pass now to Ignacio Derekibus, Deputy Executive Director, to talk about the upcoming elections. Thank you, Ignacio.
Thank you very much, Tom, and hello again. It is very nice to see some familiar names joining us yet another year, as well as welcoming new members participating for the first time in this General Assembly. As many of you are aware, it is an election year for the association. IWRA will be renewing its board members for another three-year period, starting next year until 2024. I'm sure you have already received some information around this with key dates for this election or where to find the candidates' bios and motivation statements. However, there are some crucial matters on this that we would like you to be reminded of. Firstly, in terms of the timeline, we have already announced the complete list of candidates for this new board back some weeks ago. I believe that the link is now on the chat, so you can access it in case you missed it. In this webpage, you can find more about the candidates' profiles, for instance, their professional careers, and the organizations they represent or they work with, etc. Secondly, and for your good reference, the election period will be open in only 2 days. This is next Friday, this Friday, October 1st, and it will remain open until Saturday, October 30th. This is for 30 days. Only a maximum of 19 candidates will be selected during this period, including 1 president, 3 vice presidents, 1 secretary general, 1 treasurer, 3 different committee chairs, and 10 directors. As you may remember, the past president of the association is automatically selected. Thirdly, once the election period is closed, the nominations committee will review all votes, and the list with all elected candidates will be published in Water International, in the association's newsletter, on our website, on social media channels in the coming weeks after November 1st. It is important to highlight also that according to IWRA bylaws, the president and vice presidents shall be from different geographical regions. Regarding the remaining members of the executive board, no more than 3 members from any one country can be elected. On top of this, the treasurer shall be either a resident or a citizen of the country where the association is registered and files its corporate reports and tax returns. In IWRA's case, this is from the United States. All of this said, I now invite you to visit our website and discover more about the candidates. And never before the association had such a big list of candidates representing all regions of the world from multiple and diverse water sectors and contributing to all levels. So please do visit our website and vote in October. Finally, I would like to particularly thank the nominating committee for ensuring a fair and open process and their efforts in helping on this important exercise for the association. As well, I would like to encourage all bronze members to upgrade and become a silver or gold member so you can vote in October and extend the list of growing benefits you can start enjoying today. I think I now have time for 1 or 2 questions, Ruth, but I see it's very quiet. Our participants.
One of the participants, Ignacio, is actually asking if you can share again the slide on IWRA activities that Tom Su was mentioning before.
Okay, so back to Callum. Not sure if you can do that. And Tom.
Exactly. Yep. Thank you so much. Sometimes we try to share all the slides with you and we can be a bit fast. So here is again that slide.
Sorry to interrupt. We will also be sure to share these slides with the recording of this General Assembly on the website in the coming weeks. So.
Exactly.
I see there's one question. Okay, thumbs up from an anonymous attendee. All right, so if there are no more questions, then I thank you, and I go back to you, Gabriel, to learn more on how members can get more involved with the association.
All right, thank you so much, Ignacio. Thank you all of you for these updates and reports. Before we conclude the General Assembly, I want to make a call out for all of the members of this association for your greater involvement and participation in the life of your association. This is, in fact, your association, and there are many opportunities in which you can become involved. And for example, you can participate on a task force. We currently have 6 task forces working on things like climate change, water security, young and early career professional issues, smart water management, water quality, and groundwater. You can also participate by engaging in one of our projects. For example, the UNESCO IWSSM project will be launching a new call for water security case studies in early 2022. If you have any context or suggestions about where we should organize a future event, whether it be a Congress, a full World Water Congress, a regional Congress, or other events, please do contact the Executive Office. We are always seeking expression of interest for these kinds of events, and we're always looking for ideas, support, and proposals for these activities. Also, I forgot to mention the online conferences. So please contact our Executive Office, and please find ways to become more engaged and active in these projects. And of course, we're also looking for your direct involvement in the development of master classes and webinars and policy briefs, whether as speakers or as someone to organize these events, or to even author some of the written material. And we always look forward to your ideas and your proposals. Further, we welcome your manuscript submissions to Water International for publication consideration. And please remember to share your information about your achievements and your career accomplishments and your publications with us, so we can include them in forthcoming issues of our newsletter, the IWRA Update. Furthermore, as we come to the climax of our 50th anniversary celebration in Daegu later this year, if you have any historical material, any photographs, early newsletters, or any kind of documentation that relates to the history of the association, please do let us know and send us an email at office@iwra.org. And please, as Ignacio explained, please don't forget to vote in the upcoming executive board elections. This is important. Your voice really counts here, and we want your engagement and your participation in the selection of the leadership for this next executive board term. So many opportunities for our membership to become engaged in the life of this association, and there's so much that you can do here. Last but not least, as the outgoing president of the current board, I want to take this time to thank my fellow board members for all of their hard work over the past almost 3 years. This board has been a true pleasure to work with. It was a very diverse, and it was IWRA's first truly gender balanced board with a strong youth representation as well. It is a group of highly motivated, interested, and interesting people who share a passion for improving the management of water resources everywhere. We would not have achieved anywhere near as much as we have without the dedication, their dedication to your association. I ask you to join me in thanking them all, and I hope that as the past president on the next executive board, I get the chance to continue to work with them in one capacity or another, as well as meeting the new incoming board members for another productive and exciting 3-year term. And before handing back to Guy, I don't see any other questions. So as we move to close this General Assembly, I would kindly ask Guy Fradin to return to the screen. Guy is our Secretary General, who has had a long and prestigious career in the French public sector, including being one of the former Director Generals of the Seine-Normandie Water Agency and President of the Forestry, Water, and Rural Areas Department in the Ministry of Agriculture of France. So Guy, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you for this kind transition. As a matter of fact, it's really, we have reached the end of this General Assembly. Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to thank everyone for the participation, as it is also my last appointment as the Secretary General, because it's not possible to run again for a third mandate. I would like to share the words of Gabriel with regard to all the work of the Executive Office, and especially with the work done by Colum, and also by my colleagues of the board, and also with you, Gabriel. It was a real pleasure to work as the Secretary General. Now, coming back to this assembly, the recording of the General Assembly will be posted on the IWRA website, as it has been said, for future reference. If you are watching to this record and have a question, please send it by email to the address which has been already precise, office.iwra.org. If anyone has any further questions and feedback on the content of the General Assembly, also please send it by email to the same address. Now, see you soon, I hope, at physically at the next Congress in Daegu. Also, as it has been said, don't forget to vote, it's very important. And also try to upgrade your membership from bronze to silver or gold. Keep safe, keep engaged, and again, so thank you so much to everybody. The General Assembly is now formally closed.